may be cooling off, but we're bringing out the shorts here on PHLY Phillies podcast. Jamie Lynch, Renee Washington, a lot to unpack that happened in the Sunday night victory over the Braves in the NLDS for the Phillies. And a lot of that was not just about the fact that the Phillies won 3-0, held them scoreless, held the top offense in the league scoreless at home for the first time ever as a number one seed that was breaking records all regular season was held scoreless. It was also because of those fans. Now, we all saw the play. I won't say controversial.
Scumbags.
I won't say controversial because it's not a controversial play at all. It's been reviewed several times. But we saw in the eighth inning as our dearly beloved JT Realmuto was up to bat. Catcher interference is called. Immediately, Sean Murphy reacts. We see the whole play unfold. Sean Murphy is obviously reacting to it because he knew it was catcher's interference. JT Realmuto, being a catcher, also knew it was catcher's interference and called it out. And actually, after that happened, Sean Murphy was saying post-game that he heard it. He's like, I didn't feel it, but I heard it. And he heard it right away. We all saw it. We all saw that the play did stand. And part of that is it's inconclusive to overturn the initial calling. That's why it does stand, because there's not enough evidence and not enough angles to overturn it. And it remained a catcher interference call, which allowed Trey Turner to run home. And that was run number 3 for the Phillies. Now, after that, we saw those Braves, I guess you can call them fans, if that's what you want to call them.
A lot of full diapers, Renee.
We just saw those people in Truist Park that were not Phillies fans, is what we'll refer to them as, the non-Phillies fans in Truist Park, throw things on the field. They threw beer. They threw trash. They threw all types of stuff on the field. It was awful. I would never expect that to happen in Philly.
No.
And that's not the first time, though, the Braves fans have done some foolishness like that.
No, and it's sad because we had a couple of people tweeting us last night in the chat saying they watched some of the national coverage, and surprise, surprise, none of it was mentioned that Braves fans once again littered their own field with bottles. And you bring up Murphy, and this just shows the low intellect fans down there that they don't understand baseball. Because if Murphy truly didn't interfere, he would have freaked the F out. And he would have put up a stink, and he would have told his dugout to challenge that right away, and he didn't. He pulled his glove in immediately because he knew. And Philadelphia fans, if that happened, we would react off of JT's reaction. And if we saw JT not reacting, the intelligent baseball fans that we are here in Philadelphia would have gone, oh, well, all right, that's probably the right call then. The low intellect, sad, pathetic Atlanta fans decided to take off their full diapers and throw it on the field with bottles and other such things. And kudos to the manager, Snedeker, who came out after the game and said, that's really uncalled for. Those things can be scary when they're getting tossed from the stands. And you don't know if it's a full beer bottle or not. That could actually hurt one of your own players. Not to mention you were booing them. But it certainly wasn't the first time, Renee. There was another incident in the playoffs.
Let them know, Jamie. Bring out the receipts.
2012 NL wildcard round, one of Chipper Jones's last games, where there was a controversial infield fly call that was actually called right. And guess what? The Atlanta Braves fans soiled themselves yet again and threw bottles on the field, causing an 18-minute delay in the game. So not only are you displaying scumbag behavior, if the pitcher was on the mound, you're cold, you're chilling them down, you're taking them out of their routine and staying hot. You're basically screwing your own team. It's an embarrassing fan base, and this is now a repeated behavior pattern with them. And I just want people in the national media, and if you stumble on this from Atlanta, welcome in. I just want you to know that we're not forgetting that this is a repeated behavior pattern with you.
No, we've got receipts, and we don't mind bringing those receipts out. And honestly, it's ridiculous, the double standard, because Philly sports fans still cannot live down what happened to Santa or the batteries being tossed, any of that. Meanwhile, Atlanta fans have had a couple of instances just in the last year alone that were ridiculous, where they are impacting the game. And as you talk about throwing stuff on the field, let's take a step back. Science. From that high up, the velocity, something that's being tossed when it's moving, it could hit anybody in the stands. It could hit another fan. It could hit a child. There's children in attendance. And by the time it reaches the field, could be moving so fast, it could be a very serious injury. So we don't like that. And we don't like the fact, more importantly, that it's being swept under the rug. They cleaned up the field. They moved on like it didn't happen. I haven't really heard much about it ever since. And that is unacceptable. Now, as you mentioned, it's not the first time. We also saw earlier this year when the Braves were out in Colorado facing the Rockies that two fans ran onto the field and made contact with Ronald Acuna Jr. during the 7th inning of that Monday night game. One fan actually got to Ron and ran right up there, wrapped his arms around him, and then security guards tackled him. A second fan came on. Now, I don't know for sure if we classify these as true Braves fans, and I'm just going to say everything twice now, apparently, but... Get the papers. They ran to Ronald. So it involved the Braves and it involved one of their fans. It involved a fan watching the Braves. So it's a Braves fan, period. Now, the issue about this is you actually had people make contact with him. That's concerning. And
troubling.
That was just
Sad
August
behavior.
29th. It is October right now. That's not that long ago. And here you are again, fans, doing ridiculousness. So those two fans ran onto the field. I think there was like some legal action after, but security guards not quick enough to get to them. But I guarantee you, had that been in Philly, security guards would have been there fast enough in a hot, quick, fast hurry, and those fans would not have gotten to a player.
Yeah, that's actually disgusting behavior.
It's really bad.
I was just sent another one while we're here on YouTube.
Jeez.
2019, a fan arrested, 39-year-old male, arrested at the stadium for sneaking cocaine into the ballpark versus the Mets series. And a Cobb County arrest warrant went out for his arrest. 9:30 was stopped by security at the right field gate and had to take off his cowboy boots where he hid his cocaine.
Oh, I have so many questions.
Despicable.
I have some. What kind
Probably a bottle thrower.
Probably.
He was probably all yipped up, throwing bottles around.
This is why
Disgusting.
the fans were so quiet, probably. They were out there snorting, shooting, I don't know.
Wearing cowboy boots.
Who wears cowboy boots?
They were doing more than one kind of line dancing, if you know what I mean.
But give it here.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
That was not
line
that good,
dancing,
but,
get it? Cocaine.
I'll hype it up, but it wasn't that good. That was good. The fact you were able to find that so quickly is pretty
that was
insane.
sent to me by somebody listening, so I appreciate that, sir.
There you go. I mean, I did a deep dive and was able to find, well, not that deep a dive, I should say. Did a quick search and was able to find a good amount. Now, we talked about a few. Also in 2022, 1 year ago, do you guys remember when? Bum, ba-dum, bum, ba, bum, bum. Do you know what show that's from? It's a cartoon.
I got nothing.
Well, it was Nickelodeon back in the day, actually.
Salute Your Shorts? Camp Anawana? Salute Your Shorts? Donkey Lips? You don't remember that one? Oh, that was a classic.
Andrew, you know it. Oh my gosh, I'm here alone all the time.
What do you got? What is it?
It was from Nickelodeon. It used to be their like commercial thing. Okay. Anyways, not the point. So let's stick to the non-children stuff, the stuff that's inappropriate and adult behavior. So last year, during Game 1 of the NLDS in Atlanta.
That's not that long ago.
Not that long ago. Same crime scene, same game a year ago. A Phillies fan was just trying to enjoy the game, like the rest of us. All are just trying to enjoy the game.
Trying to take in the romance of baseball.
We don't want to have fans out here ruining the experience for us.
That's what we do here.
And that fan, who's a media native from the area, cheering on the Fightin' Phils. The Phillies are winning Game 1. And then has a Braves fan dump a beer on him and then throws the beer at that poor Phillies fan. It all was caught on video, but a simple game. Can you imagine going to the ballpark in all seriousness and you leave with somebody's beer on you and somebody threw something at you?
That's pathetic, sad behavior.
It's terrible.
Braves fans really need to be better. I mean, imagine that, clearly Phillies fans are getting to them. You know what I mean? Guess what? The Phillies are 21-4, I believe, all time in Game 1s in the playoffs. And we keep coming down to Truist Park and winning Game 1s. So sorry you're big mad, but let's take our diapers off and act like mature adults down there and stop dumping beers on people. Plus, those beers are like $13.50 in a stadium. So,
they're very expensive.
It's just fiscally irresponsible, sir.
It's terrible to litter, to throw money away, and then to soil somebody with your beer.
Sad.
Now, the common theme for a lot of these games has been postseasons. The 2012 game was an NL wildcard game. The 2022 game was the first round of the NLDS.
I'm seeing a correlation here between choking and anger issues.
Their team chokes, their fans go crazy. And the last one, now this technically is not written as a bad thing, but I read this and I was like, I don't like this. 2021. We all remember what happened in 2021 and who won.
Yeah, they got their one of
they
like
got their
30
one World
years.
Series.
Yeah.
So in 2021, there was an Atlanta Braves fan that went to every single World Series game. All 6, okay? All 6 games. That's not cheap. You want to talk about fiscally responsible. Man's got a bag, clearly.
Yeah.
Very expensive to go to any playoff game 6 times, especially a World Series game. Goes to all 6 World Series games. I get it. It was their first championship since 95, and you were excited. Not only does it go to every game, after game 6 in Houston, Jamie, found out where the hotel, the party was in the hotel, sneaks into the VIP team party, and is snapping pictures with the trophy, with the team, and actually he said he literally was interviewed and was talking about it. I went up the stairs not knowing what to expect. I walk into what is the most epic World Series celebration with the team. I found myself drinking $3,500 wine with Jock. At one point, I went to the bar. The bartender was busy, so I grabbed the wine. And, Jock looks at me and says, do it. They won't do shit. And then he's telling people, I snuck in here. And they started snapping pictures with him in the trophy.
I'm not going to lie. It sounds like a pretty fun night. This guy I can't really hate on. That sounds pretty awesome, actually.
So that's apparently what they excited. It was the most epic night ever. But I don't like it because tell me where. Can you imagine trying to sneak into any Philly sports
That'd
party?
be fun as hell. I'm going to hat tip you, sir. I want some of that $3,500 wine.
So yeah, it was cool. Don't get me wrong. I'm hating a little bit. But I've got several questions again. Because you go to every game and then you sneak into the party.
By the Braves. Yeah.
My concern is it's coming across a little bit stalkerish.
Yes, it is. Oh,
and it's I get it. As
you
fans,
win, you do irrational things. I get it.
But you go to every game and then you find what hotel they're in, you sneak into the party. That's giving stalker.
Well, so what's concerning to me here is that the Braves clearly don't care about their players.
That's the issue.
If they're just that easy to sneak into their parties and gain access to them, so I think it's sad that some of those great players have to play for an organization that clearly doesn't care about them.
Right, and even after he outed himself and told them, "I snuck in. I'm just a fan. I'm not supposed to be here," they took pictures of him. I mean, again, where's security?
Probably had the best night of his life.
I'm not gonna lie, that sounds pretty awesome, but. More importantly, where is security? How are you allowing random people to sneak into a hotel party? This could be anybody. He could have been in there with cocaine and cowboy boots on. He could have been in there ready to chuck beer at people. Who knows? He maybe wanted to tackle Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen some fans do some crazy things down in Atlanta. They're fortunate this one was a cool guy, I guess. But they're towing the line of stalker and cool. That's for sure.
Psychos.
Well, let's not let this experience Saturday night be something that gets forgotten because we are keeping receipts here at PHLY Phillies podcast.
Yeah, people don't forget.
No, we don't. Philly sports fans aren't allowed to live it down, and Atlanta fans, neither are you. Thank you, guys. Look, we've got more exciting things to come for the fans that are good fans. Don't sneak into parties. Don't throw things on the field. Don't tackle their players. Tailgates, we've got tickets coming your way. I know we teased it out on Twitter about the ticket giveaway that's coming because Wednesday, as the Phillies return back to Citizens Bank Park, hopefully 2-0, we will have some tickets to give away. So stay tuned. Follow us on Twitter at PHLY_Phillies, at all things PHLY_sports, as we announce the details of the ticket giveaway. And of course, to join us for the tailgate because it's all going down in Jetro Lot, guys.
Yeah, let's go, Zach. Get a big win tonight, bud. Come on.